Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy M-O-O-D to the Z. Yeah, I am back here with part number 14 of my hip-hop collection shelf by shelf series. And we are gonna start off this shelf with the rest of the G's and then to the H's and then into the I's. Not so many H's. Alright, so first up here, I'm actually just gonna take this H out of there. Little divider thing. First up here, we got the Genius's first album, Words from the Genius, Volume 1. I always thought that was interesting, it said Volume 1. It's interesting cuts on here, man. I've always been a really big fan of this album. Yeah, the Fresh MC, Stop the Nonsense. There's some really good tracks in here, man. Who's Your Rhyming Hero? Old school Genius. Most people, I've actually heard people say this is, the Genius's first album. I think that's interesting. I think they're forgetting about the first one, but Genius's probably most famous record, The Liquid Swords. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Probably, it might even be in my top 5. I love this album with a passion, top to bottom. It's just fucking phenomenal. Great production. The Genius rules rhymes in this record, man. It's just so fucking awesome, but everybody knows Liquid Swords. And then next up we got the follow-up, Beneath the Surface. When this album first came out, I have to say I was relatively disappointed in it. Due to the fact of all the skits and stuff, I didn't really like the structure of the album that much. I thought it was, I don't know, man, I wasn't really feeling it that much. But this, over time, it's one of those records I actually like to listen to, like on an iPod, because I don't have to skip this, the intros and skits and shit. But it's got some dope shit, man. Breaker Breaker, so fucking dope. Victim's awesome, man. Crash Your Crew, fucking amplified sample. There's a lot of good tracks on this record. It's dope. The next up we got Legend of the Liquid Sword. I always really enjoyed this album, man. I think Fame is just brilliant. Such a brilliant track. Fucking love it. This album always really tripped me out, man. It comes with the parental advisory sign on it, but I don't think there actually is an explicit version of this album. I've looked everywhere. This album is edited, kind of like, I think there's tracks even on Beneath the Surface that are edited too, but this album is just the way it is. I don't know why you're gonna, curse in your records if you're just gonna edit it out, but I really enjoy this album. I think it's cool. Next up, Pro Tools by the Genius. This album, man, this one got a lot of mixed opinions when it came out. A lot of people said that the Genius sounded lazy on this record. I think it's actually pretty good, man. At first I didn't know what to think of it, but it has grown on me over time, and I really do enjoy that record, man. I think it's actually pretty good. Then we got Haku Dietate. I can never pronounce the fucking name. Anyways, AC Low, Mike and 9 and Abstract Rude are that group. I seriously can't pronounce that for the life of me. Coupe de Theater. This is fantastic, man. I really enjoy this album. Really good stuff. I'm just a really big Abstract Rude and Ace 1 fan, so Mike 9's pretty cool, man. I don't mind him. Hail Mary Madelon. This is Rob Sonic and Aesop Rock splitting the MC and production duties on this record, which is really cool. I really love this album. It's what's playing in the background right now. So really cool stuff, man. It's pretty much what you're gonna get from Rob Sonic and Aesop Rock. If you ever were thinking that these two should do an album together, this is exactly what it was gonna sound like. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I guess I'm into the H's now, by the way. Next up here is Handsome Boy Modeling School, Prince Paul, Dan the Automator. Shit right here. Everybody knows this album. I think it's really pretty much classic, man. I love this album. Really good stuff. Cool features. Their follow-up, White People. This album the album cover always cracked me up, man. I fucking love this shit, man. Got some really interesting features on this album. You got everybody if you want to pause if that's focusing properly, but yeah, good album. Enjoy it. Next up here is an album by a group called Hard to Obtain. Isman Blues. This is one I don't really hear a lot of people mention, but this is a good early 90s album, I believe. I want to say 93 or 94, yeah. Really good stuff, man. Really awesome 94 stuff. It actually sounds a little older than 94 when you listen to it, but really good stuff, man, if you're into that type of hip-hop. Then we got Haslow, In Case I Don't Make It. Love this album, one of my favorite albums from Mellow Music Group. I think this album's fantastic. Really good shit. Then Conversation B came out. I know this was like, you know, remixes and stuff like that. Or not remixes. What the fuck am I talking about? But you know what I mean. Conversation B, second album. Really awesome production on this. I really dug this. I know a lot of people weren't like feeling this like a whole lot, but I think it's really mellow shit, man. It's awesome. And then we're going over to the West Coast here with some Havoc and Prodigy from South Central Cartel, Kickin' Game. Pretty cool early 90s fucking West Coast gang shit, 94. This is after, you know, I think Havoc and Prodigy have, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 albums together. I don't know. Then we're going to go down south to Nashville with my boy Haystack, Car Full of White Boys. I know a lot of people hate Haystack, man, but I find him super entertaining. He's actually a really good storyteller, too. I mean, I know a lot of people might not feel the beats, might not even like him, but I think that, you know, he's actually pretty good for what he does and stuff. He's pretty, I think he's pretty genuine in his rhymes and stuff. He's pretty cool. Really like this mixtape right here, the Boss Mixtape Volume 1. This was fucking awesome. Really good shit on here. Generally, this isn't my type of stuff that, you know, I would be bumping on a daily basis, but I really enjoy Haystack. Hard to Love. Again, pretty cool stuff. The Natural Part 2. This guy's got like at least 15 albums out, so I only have a few of them, but The Natural 2, the sequel obviously to The Natural, which is a really, really good album by Haystack. Came a Long Way. This one was actually pretty cool, man. It's got some pretty interesting tracks on it. I thought it was pretty different. Headnotic. This is a pretty cool release. It's got like a little 4 or 6 inch or whatever the fuck you want to call it, a little record, 5 inch. No, I don't know what the hell size it is. But yeah, awesome features on here. You got People Under the Stairs. Got lots of cool shit on here. Othello, Mr. Lip. Gifted Gap. Awesome stuff, man. Really cool release. I like that album. Next up, Heather B, Taking Mine. Love this record. I know a lot of people aren't too fond of female MCs, but I give her props, man. I think she's pretty good. Next up, Living Large by Heavy D and the Boys. Their first album from, I want to say, 87. Yeah, really good stuff here. Man, the Overweight Lovers in the House. Love that track, man. Overweighter. Come on. Those are awesome titles. Awesome titles. Next up, Heavy D and the Boys, Big Time. This album cover, man, still to this day has me, every time I look at it, puts me in stitches, man. Like, it's just so fucking cheesy. So cheesy. Good stuff, though, man. You know, say what you will about Heavy D. Rest in peace to Heavy D. But good stuff, man. Whatever, old school. Peaceful Journey. Love this record, man. It's got some pretty good cuts on here. I want to say this is the album with Don't Curse. It is. I couldn't remember if it was this one or the next one, but yeah, Don't Curse, amazing classic track. Blue Funk here. I got production from, well, executive produced by Puff Daddy. This has got like some really early Pete Rock stuff in here from '92. I think so does Peaceful Journey, actually, too. Nothing But Love. Always been a big fan of this record, man. Nothing But Love. Black Coffee. Good shit, man. Whatever. Fuck the haters. I like Heavy D. Waterbed Hev. This album isn't really that great at all, but, you know, it's Heavy D, so I had to have it. I think he's got another album after this, too, that I just don't have. Next up, Hellraiser, Renaissance Child. This album's fucking awesome. Love this album. Really great stuff. Renaissance with Ari the Rugged Man. Awesome record. Love it. Next up, Heaven Reza. You know, it wasn't bad. This album's not bad. It's not my favorite Hellraiser record, but it's okay. Next up is the classic Helter Skelter record, Nocturnal. Sean P. Clicks, Clans, Posses, and Crews, man. I love that track. La Fleur, La Fleur, Shko. Awesome stuff, man. This whole album, top to bottom, is just ridiculously good, man. Ridiculously good. Love that album. Then came Magnum Force. This was a huge step down from Nocturnal, in my opinion. Still pretty cool, though. I like this album. It grew on me over time. Definitely not their best work, but then they finally dropped an album like years and years later together. Again, Dirt, the Incredible Rap Team. Hate this album cover. There's something about this album cover that bugs me, but I really, really enjoy this album, man. I think it's really dope. Really good shit, man. This it's just a very, very surprising album. I thought it was going to be shit when it first came out, but it turned out to be, it just went way beyond my expectations. And here's a guy I can never pronounce his name, Hezekiah. I'm sure Tom will correct me on this one. Sorry, buddy, but I know you will. I predict a riot. I really like this guy, man. I don't really know much about this cat, but his music's pretty good though. Pretty good stuff. Then we got Conscious Porn. Love the album cover to this. Fucking awesome. Conscious Porn. What a great album title. Pretty cool stuff. Not as good as the other record, but these are the only 2 physical copies of the Hilltop Hoods I actually have. State of the art here, which is good. It's a good record. I really need to get physicals of their first albums. I just have, digital copies of them, which sucks because sometimes I get too cheap and I don't feel like paying for the imports and stuff, but I need to grab them. And then Drink from the Sun, again, also pretty good. Aussie hip-hop, very, very mainstream down there. I think read somewhere that they're pretty much like one of the most successful independent groups of all time. The Hot Boys, early Cash Money stuff. This is from 1999. Not my thing, man. I was never even really a big fan of this. BG, Little fucking Wayne, probably the only Little Wayne shit you'll see in my entire collection. Juvenile and Big Turk, I believe was the other guy. I don't know. Hieroglyphics, Third Eye Vision, one of my favorite albums of all time. I could never say anything bad about this album. I fucking love it with a passion. So good. Full Circle. This album right here, I know a lot of people kind of hate it on a little bit. I think that's fantastic. I think there's a lot of good tracks on here, man. Really good stuff. And then we got The Kitchen. Again, I love this record. I thought it was really, really good. Again, mixed reviews on this one when it came out, but I don't really care, man. I think it's fucking dope. Next up, we got the High and the Mighty Home Field Advantage. This is a good album, man. Really fucking dope shit. Good features on here. Yeah, High and the Mighty. Good shit. Then we got The 12th Man. Not as good. I don't have a cover for this because Second Spin fucked me on that, or I don't have the back part of it. It is a legit CD, though. Fucking Second Spin. High Tech Volume 1, I guess High Technology Volume 1. This is, in my opinion, the best one. I think they just kind of deplete after the first one, but it's got, Cormag on here. Common, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, stuff like that. We got Mood on there, of course. Now High Technology 2, which is pretty cool. I like this one, too. Very similar features and stuff. I don't even have the third one. Hood Rats, Sneak Motherfuckers, kind of like an Onyx kind of rip-off group. Very similar to Onyx, very grimy, very similar. Yeah. House of Pain. What can I say about House of Pain here, man? I mean, classic record. Here's the single for Shamrocks and Shenanigans. Boom, shellac, lock, boom. Good stuff. Good stuff. The criminally underrated, same as it ever was, man. I think this album is awesome. I really, really enjoy this album. Back from the Dead, I fucking love that track. On Point, so good, man. Word is Bond. There's so many good tracks on here. Really good shit. Then we got Rise Again, House of Pain's last group effort. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. As you can see, I picked this one up used. I really got this album for Fed Up with Guru and stuff like that. There's actually some decent tracks. Yeah. So then we're going to be almost getting into the I's here. Last up for the H's is Hurricane, the Hurrah. Love this album. Love this album. Always been a big fan. Elbow Room. Give me some elbow room. Love that shit, man. Really good shit. Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted. Classic album. Everybody knows this shit right here. Yeah. Honestly, such an amazing record. Really good production on it. Then, in my opinion, probably one of the best EPs ever. Kill It Will. I mean, this thing is classic. Jackin' for Beach, tell you, get off my dick and tell you bitch to come here. The Product, Dead Homies. Seriously, that's fucking amazing. That's just sick. Then my favorite album by Ice Cube, and one of my favorite albums in general, is Death Certificate. I could listen to this album every day and never get sick of it. It's just so fucking good, man. Everything about this album is amazing, man. Steady mobbing, man. Oh, I love the very first track, The Wrong Nigga to Fuck With on this, man. It's such a great way of fucking starting off this album. Colorblind, No Vaseline, like just, it just never ends with classic cuts on here. Love it. Ice Cube is the fucking man. The Predator, When Will They Shoot? Again, really amazing first track on an album. Love it with a passion. Today was a good day. Amazing stuff. Of course, Wicked. I remember when Rhapsody used to use the Wicked beat. Well, at least the Canadian Rhapsody. Lethal Injection. I really love this album. Ghetto Bird is my joint, man. I love Ghetto Bird. When I Get to Heaven, it's a big dope track too, but really dope. You know how we do it. Awesome shit. Bob Gun. The extended like 12-minute cut of the track never gets old to me. I love it. Ice Cube bootlegs and B-sides. This is some really good shit. Some remixes on here. Some really dope remixes. You know how we do a remix. What Can I Do remix or Check Yourself remix. They're all fucking amazing. My Skin Is My Sin is awesome. I love Robin Hood. Another great track to start off an album. Awesome stuff. Ice Cube, War and Peace. Volume 1, the War Disc. Probably... I like this one a little less than Volume 2, but it's got some pretty cool tracks on here. This one he was kind of fucking with Korn a little bit. Fuck Dying was on here, featuring Korn. Pretty cool stuff. I like Push and Wade. Pretty cool. Volume 2, the Peace Disc. I love this record, man. Actually, almost every song on here is really dope. Until We Rich with Crazy Bun, I always liked that track, but The Gutter with Jail Felony, fuck, man, it's just so hard. You Ain't Gotta Lie to Kick It with Chris Rock. I just love the hook. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. It's fucking awesome. A lot of good tracks on there. And I picked up his Greatest Hits album because it had a couple new cuts on it. But yeah, you know, it's Ice Cube, so I had to have it. Laugh Now, Cry Later. You know, this album, oh man, I had a hard time getting into it, but I actually really enjoy this album now. I adapted to the, you know, the delivery difference, you know, kind of changed with time and stuff, but I enjoy it. I think it's good. And I got this advanced in the movies. This is basically all Ice Cube's soundtrack tracks, and he tells you what film they're from and stuff. This is actually a really good compilation to get. Really enjoy this, man. I mean, awesome. Friday, How to Survive and Self-Centered from Boys in the Hood. One of my favorite Ice Cube songs. Love the movie, love the track. Raw Footage. This is another album that took me a little bit to get into, but I adapted to it. Not really the best beats in the world, but I can still dig it. This one right here has got some tracks on it I don't really care for. I'm the West, but you know, overall, man, it's got some really good ones though too. Definitely, I prefer older Ice Cube, like most people, but I'll still fuck with Ice Cube every time he puts out something. Then from Ice Cube to Ice-T, Ron Pays, 1987 or 6 or something. Of course, it's got the classic 6 in the morning, police at my door. Yeah, I love that shit, man. Really old school Ice-T. Love it. Power. This one's probably my second favorite Ice-T album. I love Power. It's so fucking dope. Beats on here are sick, man. Drama. Yeah, High Rollers. Good shit. My favorite Ice-T album is actually The Iceberg, which might surprise some people. I love this album, man. Lethal Weapon, fucking amazing. Hit the Deck, The Hunted Child. You played yourself, Peel Your Caps Back. This girl tried to kill me. I don't know. There's something about this album, man. I used to rock it all the time in my headphones, man. When I was a kid, and I don't know, something about it. Original Gangster, OG, Original Gangster. Yeah, it's got Body Count on here, which is interesting. New Jack Hustler, just classic shit. I enjoy the structure of this album. I think it's a good album. Criminally underrated, Home Invasion. This album is really actually pretty cool, man. It's On. I love the remake or the remix of It's On, man. I wish it was on here. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, the remix of That's How I'm Living, not It's On. That's How I'm Living right there. I love the I think it's like a video version of the track, but it's fucking dope. Then Return of the Real, Ice-T 6. I know a lot of people shit on this one, but I like some of the tracks on here. They're pretty fucking, this album's gangster, man. It's real gangster. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for shelf number 14. Again, I'm pushing 20 minutes on here, so I will be back with the rest of the I's and then into the J's in part 15, so stay tuned for that. And leave comments down below. Peace out, homies.